Good morning, this is my Shaman Oracle reading for this new week. Today is Monday, January the 29th, and I will be reading for Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. And we start with the sign of Aries. Welcome, Aries. The first card is from the Psychic Tarot, and out came Universe. You have come far on your journey, and it is time to be rewarded for your efforts. So this card symbolizes completion, triumph, peace, liberation, and fulfillment. Everything you have strived for is within your reach, so meet it halfway and then grab it. The Universe is the last of the major arcana cards of this deck and reflects the work that you have accomplished on your travels, but more importantly, it represents the wisdom that you have gained along the way. You should now honor and acknowledge the truly wonderful soul that you are and accept the vital part that you play in the bigger scheme of life. The world is yours to command, and you are free to travel in whatever direction your heart desires. You are connected to everything in the cosmos. The Universe card is a reminder that the same energy making up the stars in the sky, the same energy that is traveling through the universe, is in each and every individual. In ancient times, many believed that each star was the soul of one person. They also believed that these souls shined so brightly to guide others through the darkness, and so too can your wise soul. The traditional tarot archetype of the card universe of this deck is the world. Now we come to the good tarot, and I picked two cards from that deck. And card number one is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is about spiritual practice. When this card appears, it reminds me, when this card appears in my reading, it reminds me to be committed to a spiritual practice to ensure a conscious contact to my higher power. When I have a daily practice of prayer and meditation, steeped in gratitude and committed to being a co-creator, life works out in wondrous ways. Rituals are in my highest good at this time. Exchanging vows is also highlighted. And the card number two is the Four of Fire. The Four of Fire is about a new creative phase, celebration, pleasure, and harmony in relationships. Dancers, they have partners. Singers, they have musicians helping them create sweet music. And I find others who are in sync with me and my desires, is what you are saying. It is a time for celebrating friendship and all that others bring to my life, a time for revelry and relishing the pleasures of being in good company. Making magic together with others is the focus for me at this time. The rose oracle card that came out is the wastelands, and it is about sustainability, to slow down and to tend to your garden. There is an anonymous 13th century French myth in the form of a poem called The Elucidation that tells the story of a king who abuses the land he's supposed to be the guardian of it. So the king breaks the trust of the well maidens, which are the spirits who were guarding the wells of each land, and they flee. The waters they run dry, the plants they wilt, and the land, which was once rich and fertile, becomes barren, creating a wasteland. This is the most powerful card of this deck. It is a wake-up call for us to stop the destructive behavior that is resulting in us becoming brittle and unable to live in a sustainable way. The sacred feminine is abundant. She knows that the earth can provide for what we need and that she doesn't need to take more than she needs. She tends the earth around her and also within her. She is the keeper of balance and the protector of all living things. The rose has seen civilizations come and go, empires rise and fall, and in this card she is delivering an urgent message to slow down and stop any way of being that is not sustainable, to release anything that is making us brittle, and to tend our garden, our bodies, and the earth around us. So ask this soul inquiry: what way of being is no longer sustainable for me? The divine feminine oracle card that came out is Quan Yin, and Quan Yin is the goddess of compassion, and she says, I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. So who is she? Quan Yin represents the presence that listens deeply to our prayers spoken from the heart. Quan Yin or Quan Yin is an incarnation of Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion. She is known as the goddess of mercy and is considered to be the most beloved Buddhist deity. Her name translates in Chinese as the one who perceives the cries of the world. She is often compared to the Virgin Mary in Christianity because she intercedes on behalf of those who call out to her with humility and sincerity. Scholars believe that a Buddhist monk Kumarjiva was the first to refer to the female form of Quan Yin in his Chinese translation of the Lotus Sutra in 406 CE. She is associated with the number 33 because she appears 33 times in this sacred text. The Lotus Sutra reveals that a mudra most often associated with Quan Yin is the Yoni Mudra. Her captains symbolize the womb to remind us that we all enter this world through the female form. The Buddhist saint Miao Shan is believed to have been an incarnation of Quan Yin. Quan Yin was originally worshipped as a male deity, but at some point during the Northern Sung dynasty, around 960 to 1126, Quan Yin began to be worshipped as a female. Miao Shan is believed to be the cause of this transformation. The legend of Miao Shan contain beautiful accounts of her saving sailors from drowning in the rough seas. Quan Yin is associated with jade because of its protective properties. So in this case, it is said to help with going underwater, both literally and figuratively, drowning in the ocean or in a flood of emotions. So when your soul selects this card, Quan Yin is about the deep medicine that comes simply from being willing to bear witness to someone else's pain. To really listen, we have to move from the ego to the soul so that the story we are listening to doesn't become about us or trigger us. So this is also applying to the moments when we are listening to the story that we tell ourselves about who we are. We are often far harsher and less forgiving to ourselves than we would ever be to someone else. Quan Yin suggests that we listen simply with curiosity. Curiosity allows us to detach from needing to take the suffering of someone we love personally. Curiosity is a door that leads to compassion. It frees us from feeling as though we have to react to what we hear or defend and explain our part in their suffering. We can just perceive the pain that they are in, or we can finally hear our own cries of despair and not seek to judge or justify them. We can just be present to what needs to be heard. Quan Yin is the powerful energy of giving witness to our own or to someone else's suffering. Often just a calm, abiding presence of compassion is all that is needed to transform that suffering into light. Say or ask this soul voice meditation, what pain or suffering can I listen to now with curiosity? And then say this intention, I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. And the last card is from the Wisdom of the House of Night deck. And out came letting go. The goddess Nyx says to you, this symbol comes to you to remind you that freedom is important to everyone. If you love something, set it free. Do not hold on too tight, lest you chase it away. You have the freedom at this time to choose whatever you want, so let others do the same. You will be so happy that you did, because miracles come when you let go and allow the magic to happen of its own accord. That was your reading, Aries. I do thank you for listening. I wish you a most gorgeous whole week. Take care and goodbye.